what you say.
Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more.
Hi, I'm Rick Aaliyah. Welcome to our video series, Mike Kelly Must Go, where we present the case that Mike Kelly, U.S. Congressman from Pennsylvania's 16th District, should be voted out of office on November 3rd. One of my favorite movies of all time is Glengarry Glen Ross. It's a story about a bunch of crooked salesmen who try to swindle people on phony land deals. There's one scene when a salesman played Al Pacino confronts his office manager after the office manager butted into a conversation with a client, ended up scaring the client off, and he lost the deal. Pacino says this:
"You never open your mouth till you know what the shot is."
In other words, don't do anything or say anything unless you don't know what the con is. One thing we can say about Mike Kelly, when it comes to prescription drug prices, he knows the shot. He knows the con. Remember when Donald Trump said this during his campaign in 2016?
When it comes time to negotiate the cost of drugs, we're going to negotiate like crazy, folks.
Turns out that was a lie. The president has never established negotiations with the pharmaceutical companies, and Mike Kelly has played along with the sham by voting against it happening. In 2019, the democratically controlled House passed the Elijah E. Cummings Lower Drug Costs Now Act. That bill called for the Department of Health and Human Services to negotiate with pharmaceutical companies on the cost of up to 250 commonly used drugs, including insulin. It also required the manufacturers to offer the agreed-on prices to private insurers, giving it huge reach, so it would affect a lot of people, not just those in Medicare. The Congressional Budget Office estimated this would save the government $450 billion between 2020 and 2029. Some of which would be used to expand dental, vision, and hearing coverage for Medicare recipients. And Kelly, who received $249,000 in campaign contributions from drug companies during his political career, according to Kaiser Health News, voted against it. After passing in the House, the bill wasn't taken up by the Republican-controlled Senate. As you might expect, drug companies vehemently opposed the legislation. Kelly said this in explaining his no vote: "This government price-fixing scheme would lead to the development of fewer new cures and reduce access to existing life-saving drugs." A scheme. Since when is negotiating prices in the free market a scheme? Or is it a scheme because it cuts into the profits of some of your big donors? Kelly seemed more concerned about drug companies than his own constituents. Is the pharmaceutical industry really that hard up? Remember, in 2017, the GOP passed the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. They gave a big corporate tax cut to businesses, including drug companies. Here are some other things to consider. In 2018, the 12 largest American pharmaceutical companies spent more money buying back their stock than they spent on drug research and development. $69.1 billion on stock buybacks, with another $47 billion in reserve for future transactions, as opposed to $65.9 billion on research and development, according to Axios. Despite this tax windfall, drug companies still raised prices by an average of about 21% on 4,311 prescription drugs in 2019, and 2,519 drugs by an average of 6.9% so far in 2020, according to Kaiser Health News. So it looks like the drug companies aren't doing so bad after all. And one more thing. When it comes to negotiating the prices with the drug companies, the government wasn't just going to pull numbers out of a hat.
Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat. See? Nothing up my sleeve. Presto! Wrong hat.
I said they aren't going to do that. Anyway, the prices of drugs in other developing countries will be used as a reference point. In other words, drug companies won't be forced to sell for less than the average price. They just won't be able to gouge the American consumers. Of course, Kelly couldn't keep himself from claiming socialism, which is what Republicans call any program that helps people and uses tax money that they and their rich donors might otherwise be able to keep. So in Kelly's worldview, lower drug prices based on negotiations is socialism. Helping people who are now forced to decide whether to buy their medication or food is playing politics. Why don't we just call it what it is? Kelly doing the bidding of his benefactors in the pharmaceutical industry, who just happened to give him $249,000 since 2009. Yes, Kelly knows what the shot is, and now you do too. I hope you'll watch our other videos, which you could find along with much more information about the case against Mike Kelly at our website, www.mikekellymustgo.com. Thanks for watching.